You may be wondering why we're not immediately starting out in black and white. And that's because we're on episode 3 of Uzumaki, It's Romania Black. And I've got some really awesome comments to talk about with you all, but I want to be real with you before we start, because this is one of the first series that I've watched that is fresh coming out. Usually on my channel, the only time I watch things when they come out like week to week with you all simultaneously is if it is a new season of a show I had previously watched, like such as Blue Lock, which I am watching right now, season 2, which is great, but I'm watching it week to week. But I had watched season 1 prior, so I knew what I was getting into. But I have rarely started a season fresh with you all. And I've been hesitant about doing that for a long time for the reasons I'm about to talk with you all about. But one of said reasons was that I always worried I would get started on a series fresh with you all week to week, that everybody was also in the same boat of trepidation, wondering like, what's it going to be like? What's the adaptation going to be like? And my biggest fear as a content creator is starting something, getting invested, and then not enjoying it. And you all kind of finding that experience, because who wants that? Nobody wants that. But I enjoyed episodes 1 and 2 of Uzumaki. I really enjoyed them. I was like, yeah, this is great. It's creepy. It's horrific. I don't know. And then episode 1 dropped on YouTube. The patrons who are paying to watch my content, they've all been super supportive and they're amazing. But the moment that it drops on YouTube, and I don't have a moderator for this series because I was like, one, my moderator's doing plenty. They don't need any more on their plate. Plus, they're not really fans of Uzumaki horror. They were like, eh. And also, it's only 4 episodes. So I'm like, well, 4 episodes. Why do I need a moderator? It's fine. But yeah, so as soon as it dropped, the very first comment was, "Stop it now. Other eps are ass after this one. The whole production had a meltdown." And I'm like, there's only been 2 episodes that have been available for anyone to watch. How do you know the rest of it is ass? And I was like, ah! And then the next one was, yeah, episode 1 was great, but sadly drop it and replace it with something else. Well, if you watched my October update, you would know that I'm not replacing it with something else. This was just for this month. And then, luckily, there have been people come out in that first episode that were like, you all are overreacting. Like, you just watched a trailer, you saw a moment of episode 2, and I talked about it last week. I was like, the beach scene did seem weird, but it kind of made it disjointed and even scarier, so I was like, it kind of added to the unease of it, so I didn't really care about it. I was like, okay. And then someone else was like, I suggest you watch the series. And then after I took the screenshot, someone else was like, I've never seen this series. I'm going to watch it alongside you. I'm excited. And that's what really hurt me and disappointed me as a content creator, is that there are people like myself and others that have commented that genuinely want to see this. And for people to come out, one, you don't have to watch my reactions. If you don't like it, go somewhere else, or don't watch any reactions at all if you don't like the series. Stop being a troll. And 2, it just feels very whiny and entitled that you can just come on here because a content creator, like, one, I'm not going to just stop these reactions because you, one person who's not even paying to watch my content, has commented on it. So no, like, your opinion, unfortunately, is not going to be an influencer. And then I was like, it's just so rude. It's very disingenuous and not courteous to a content creator who's spending a lot of their time and effort and also enjoying the series. Like, I don't even think they watched my reaction to see if I even enjoyed it. They just instantly put that on there. And I was like, you know what? It's fine. But then I go onto Twitter, and I posted some screenshots for season 2 being like, hey, episode 2, the reaction discussion's up on Patreon. YouTube's going to be next week. And the only comment I have received as of this moment recording episode 3 was, how do you feel about the drop in animation quality? I'm like, why don't you go pay and see what I think? You know? Shill your $5 and see what I think about it. But that's so rude. And it was just I was really enjoying the series, and I'm a Taurus. I am stubborn as fuck. And that's part of my nature. And so I'm going to keep watching these next 2 episodes halfway to spite you all the naysayers, but also because I know there are people like myself that are genuinely excited about this. And I was just like, because you know what? I feel it's also the entitlement of it is that, yeah, there's probably production issues. And after the fact, after all 4 episodes come out, I think this should generate a conversation where if there is a drop in quality, then yeah, all of you keyboard warriors that are so negative, maybe you should be taking your time and efforts instead of a Twitter post and maybe writing to the animator and production studios talking about how you are not liking it, and maybe try to actually get some better standards in place for the animators that are working on these projects. Because if you keep consuming the media and you don't actually show your voice where it counts by actually spending the time to type what's called an email to these executives, they're not going to know because they're not getting on Twitter and seeing it. So it's like, the advocate in me that knows a little bit about advocacy knows that you can't just write a tweet or a YouTube comment and expect change to happen. So if you really care about these animators and these adaptation projects, you need to be actually doing some political advocacy. But will these people go out and do that? Who knows? I get fired up, right? I'm fired up this morning. I put my Empire shirt on and I was ready to go. So yeah, I did a little bit of digging because I was like, well, I'm here now. I'm obviously not looking at anything with the manga adaptation because I would actually like to look at the manga eventually. So we'll see where that goes. But I did want to know. Now, a lot of articles, here's the thing too, if you're anybody that has taken any type of education classes involving rhetoric and composition, English, journalism is not the same online as it is everywhere else. So there are a lot of clickbait anime articles out there that just want you to click on the article, and then the substance of it is, and I get it, they got a job to do, but is it actual journalism? Question mark. And there were a lot of people citing like tweets from individuals that were not actually involved in the production itself. They were like, well, here's my theory as an animator. And I'm like, but you weren't actually involved in the process. So I'm not going to quote them. They're just giving their opinions, and they do have expertise that is important and I think validates a lot of what they're saying. But I'm not here to spread naysaying and hearsay. I'm here to look at actual people that have worked in the production studio. What are they actually saying? And they are very limited to what they can say because they have a job and they don't want to lose said job. So there was Cartoon Network, oddly enough, did put out some tweets that were saved, some screenshots shared from an individual that actually works for the production studio on Uzumaki. And so there were 3 tweets that they put out, and here is what they said. And I want to go ahead and just say this for you all. It said, it's fine. We knew this would happen. I can't talk about what went down because of their job, but we were screwed over, and the options were A, not finish it and air nothing and call it a loss, B, just finish and air episode 1 and leave it incomplete, or C, run all 4, warts and all. And out of respect for the hard work, we chose C. Exactly. Like, it sucks when a lot of the problems with stuff like this is not the animator's fault. It's with upper administration and corporations. Surprising no one. But it's like, did you want just 1 episode and that's it? Or did you want whatever they worked hard on, warts and all, to be complete and go out there? And someone would probably enjoy it. They continued on by saying, after waiting so long, it makes sense people would be mad. Unfortunately, I can't tell them who to blame on it. But someone is definitely at fault here, and we all just have to do our best when things imploded. Maybe others would have made different choices. We did the best we could with what we had. But again, a lot of people worked very hard on this show, and I didn't think the actions of just 1 or 2 people should be the reason it never saw the light of day. Maybe that's the wrong choice. I truly don't know. But these people have a right to be annoyed and disappointed. I'm glad that you are digging it. Yeah, so I'm thoroughly enjoying the content that we've got so far. I'm also coming from the lens of someone that's not read the source material, and I typically do that on my channel. I will look at the anime first and then the manga if possible, or if I do look at the manga, it's always after the anime, because usually if there are a faultier version, it's in the adaptation. And that happens with 99% of media when you translate it from its source material to a new form. Sometimes you get a better production, a better product, but not always. So that's understandable. But I do feel sorry for the crew that did spend a lot of time, because I know this was in production for a long time. The original manga, supposedly, according to one of the comments, came out in 2001. So it's been probably running through the mill for a while now. But again, if you are concerned about the quality of a series, put your money where your mouth is and actually write those studios. And if you're like, well, that's not going to make a difference. Well, neither is your tweet or your YouTube comment. So maybe at least try to do something that could have some advocacy and results rather than something that's just going to sit in the nether sphere and not matter. So anyway, I'm enjoying the series. I'm going to keep watching it and enjoy it for what it is. But that was just my beef this week and what I've had to deal with. And I'll tell y'all right now, it has definitely made me go, if there's a new series coming out, I think I'll just wait till it's done before I react to it, because I don't think I can react week to week, because what if this happens again? And that's just all there is to it. So if those same people come at me being like, oh, there's this new series that came out, I'm like, oh, well, what if it sucks halfway through? So anyway, we've got some comments to look at before we start. Sorry that took so long, but I want to talk about the comments. But let's go ahead and get the ambiance back and switch to some black and white. It's like clap on, clap off. All right, so Alexander Q talked about, had a comment from episode 2 saying, yeah, I had the same thought about the snails, oh my god, and the meaning behind it. I think Ito does a great job of making a commentary on a very real situation without outright calling it anything, as I imagine it wouldn't have passed the censors otherwise, and leaves it open enough to interpretation. It's unnerving nonetheless, but also very clever. Yeah, all the stuff we talked about in episode 2's discussion about the snails and the sexual connotation that it has, I did like that Alexander Q brought that up about the censors and getting past that, because it's a really good way of doing it. They also said Kiri being infected by the spiral, but also not damaged by it, was very interesting to me. Like, we can assume that the other girls get spirals in her hair because she wanted to be the center of attention. But as far as I can tell, Kiri didn't seem to care about it and was rather uncomfortable with the attention. And yet, maybe simply because she was pretty and friendly, the spiral targeted her, and it ended choosing her hair, which was very pretty and maybe her most attractive feature, as the vessel to do that. Yeah, so we saw with Azami from the first episode that the scar she had was like a feature that made her stand out, so the spiral targeted it. And here with Kiri, it's like her hair is her best feature, so it targeted that as well. But she's a nice person through and through, so the spiral didn't really consume her all that much. I thought that was really interesting. And then I do like the idea that Alexander Q pointed out that you can see during this horror series, all of the messages are right in front of you, but yet the people still ignore them. So I'm like, well, in real life, there are a lot of like red flags that are right in front of lots of people, but they ignore them because, you know, they either out of fear or pride or whatever, they don't want to acknowledge them. So I thought that that was really cool. So thank you, Alexander Q. Moomin said that they started consuming anime when we all that we had were giant robots, mecha, and then all of the harems. I think for me, this is why I love horror manga. It's just so different than what we usually think of when someone says anime. And I thought that was really interesting. Look, all I will say again about the animation is people were like, aren't you just so distraught about the... I was like, I didn't even notice the beach scene really all that much. It just kind of stuck out, but the animation quality didn't bother me. I'm like, bitch, to quote Bianca Del Rio, I was raised by wolves. I grew up with Reboot. I'm reacting to Revolutionary Girl Utena from the 90s, whose animation is questionable sometimes, but who cares? It's the story. It's the characters. I suffered through Haikyuu season 4, episode 15 and made it out to the other side. Quit your bitchin'. I guess because I wasn't privileged to grow up in an animation where in a generation where there's just so much good animation all the time, all day. I'm like, I grew up in the 70s Disney, where Disney was like copying cells from previous works. It is what it is. And I'm like, I have always grown up with varied level of animation. It's like on the one spectrum, there's Akira and Studio Ghibli. And then on the other end of the spectrum, there's like the 90s animation that barely made it on TV and was just shoved in to fill a time slot. Like, to me, I understand the value and merit of animation. and I appreciate it, and I will always encourage and advocate for the standards of those animators to be granted to allow not only that animation, but also the quality of their service. But at the same time, I am not so privileged that if the animation isn't top tier, 5-star Michelin quality, then the characters and narrative aren't worth it. I would much rather watch a story for the characters and the narrative than if the animation is not the best. So, oh, fire me up. Anyway, Moomin also says nature is not kind. For example, praying mantis' mating habits. The females biting off the heads of the males. I would put that in that category of cosmic horror to some extent. Nature is a foe we cannot control. And that's really such a good point to bring up. And they also talk about how that the commentary about the loss of control, feeling helplessness, and it's all-consuming nature. It's like a bucket of crabs pulling any crab that tries to escape. Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, if you're out in nature and you see how nature works, it is not kind. Lots of nature is very dog-eat-dog survivalist, and there is body horror, and there's elements that talk about how you don't have autonomy, and humans are so used to having autonomy that when it's restricted or nature prevents us from having that control, it is terrifying. And so, yeah, that's why there's so many disaster movies, because nature is something you can't have superpowers and defeat nature. It just is. So that's why there are so many movies like Twister and Armageddon and things like that. Although, you could argue about the latter. But yeah, movies like Twister, it's like, yeah, you can't fire it's not Sharknado. You can't fire a bomb into a tornado and stop it. Not in real life. So yeah, though that's a very good point to make. And then Sunspots talked about Kiri with her moving hair and watering Katayama while he was in the pen was such an interesting moment. This is the type of thing I especially love about Ito works. Distilled moments of empathy within the surrounding horror. Yeah, it's like I went back and rewatched episode 2 in the dub this morning, and just her standing there and all you can hear is the sound of the hose. And it's this one quiet moment in all of this chaos. And it is such like a moment. It emphasizes her character so much, and I think why she's able to resist the spirals, but also it's just like her being empathetic. She's going to survive, hopefully, this horror movie because of her empathy. We'll see. Sunspots also said, I wonder what the central theme really is. Potentially the way fear and paranoia is contagious, but also so much of it seems to be about bodily autonomy, how it can be subsumed by the beliefs and spiral influences of a small portion of a society, community, and individual. The spiral of poverty being a theme is also really interesting. It can be contagious in a way that is systemic in communities. Yeah, I agree with all of that. I think you worded that beautifully and probably better than I mumbled about last week. But yeah, absolutely. About how we as humans, we think that we're so above everything, but in fact, we are just as prone to falling into the same spirals as anything else. So that's interesting. They also point out there was a post-credits scene that I skipped, and I was like, oh no, I have not watched that. I decided to keep that to watch alongside you all. Because I thought that would be worthy to note. So we're going to actually do that first. I'm sorry I talked for nearly 20 minutes. I was really riled up this week. I've been saving all my bitterness to get it out, so I'm not a bitter Betty for the rest of it. But yeah, basically, if you've got anything negative to say about the show, maybe wait till after episode 4 and actually listen to the discussions that I post and see what I think. And then after episode 4, when everything's all said and done, you can come in with your novels about how the production value was, and we can all talk about it and have a civil discussion. But just being like, this episode's ass. It's like, it was a bit cringy. So let's not do that. All right. So anyway, we are going to get started. And we're going to get started and go ahead and look at this post-credit scene first, and then we're going to dive in. I'm not going to time the post-credit scene for the record. I'm going to go ahead and just get it out there. There's usually an advertisement with the streaming service I'm using. So we'll go ahead and watch the post-credit scene, and then I'll do like a little start-stop for episode 3. All right, so let's go ahead and get this in here. I'm going to try to get out of that. All right. Here we go. We're probably to the end here. Okay. I'm like, just let me see this, please. Did I watch this? Oh. Oh, fuck! Why? Oh my god! No, no, no! Oh shit! Damn it! Why did you do that? Son of a bitch! Why? I hate jump scares. They're my least favorite. That was the Jack-in-the-Box boy. But why? Son of a bitch. Oh, my heart. I wasn't ready for that this morning. Damn it. No, son of a bitch. Okay. I'm letting this ad run. Oh. Oh my god. Oh, so the Jack-in-the-Box boy, we're burying bodies now. And the Jack-in-the-Box boy that got wrangled up in the car came back to life. Shit. It's zombies. No. Why? Ah! Okay. Well, that's a great start. So let's dive into episode 3. And we're gonna do that here in 3, 2, 1. I'm glad I'm not watching this show at night. I'd be so freaked out for the rest of the day. Ah. Oh my god, not back to the hospital. Nope. Oh, it's her. Oh, good, she's alive. Oh shit, no, the cochlea. Oh my god, no. Oh my god. Oh my god, and it looks like a snail. Oh my god, shit. It does look like a snail. No, I forgot about that. Oh my god, nope. No, yeah, let's not repeat that. Oh shit, no. Oh my god, mosquitoes. And it's spiral shaped as part of their mating behavior. There's a lot of sexual stuff going on. Yeah. Anything that has anything related to spirals is going to show up and be in this town. Really? Oh no. Oh hell no. Oh, don't put this crazy woman in there. Oh. Oh, your cousin. Well, that's scary. What the hell is that? It looks like a bicycle handle. But why? And why she got all these marks on her face? Oh, fudge, no. Nope. What? Why? No. Usually the third episode, I'm like, things are going to get the scariest. I don't want this. Oh my god. Is that her dad? Why was he submerged? Oh my god, nope. Why was he completely submerged in the water? Not good. Was that the pond? Oh my god. Oh my God. Ew. Oh, the mosquitoes. Ew. No. Yeah, was she covered in mosquito bites too? Is that what that is? I don't like any of this. Oh, kill it. Oh my God, no. Oh, ew. Nope, I don't like where this is headed. I don't like where this is headed at all. I don't like where any of this is headed. No, ew. Oh my God. No. Nope. Oh shit, why? This is so gross. Nope, nope, nope. I don't like mosquitoes at all. Why? No. No. Damn it. Oh, now I'm going to be terrified of mosquitoes buzzing. Now I'm going to be terrified of mosquitoes. Oh my God. Hell to the no. Oh my God, is that what they're carrying? Nope. Oh my God, are they like killing people and drinking their blood for the babies? Oh my God. Oh, blup, blup, nope. Oh, fudge, no! No! Oh my God, it's like a zombie attack! No, get away from her! Oh shit, no! Leave her alone! Oh my God, yeah, leave Kiri alone! Fudge! Oh hell no! Oh hell no! No! That's how they're doing it? How? But how? Why do they have psychic powers? Oh my God. Oh shit! Oh no! No! Kiri, get out of there, girl! Oh no! Oh my God, but your cousin. Oh my God! Oh my God! No, don't kill her! No, don't kill her! No! Oh my God! Fuck no. Nope! Nope, nope, nope. Ah! No! I cannot! No! Oh my god! Nope! No, 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 no. No! Oh my god, no parasites! No, 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 no. Oh my god, no! No, damn it! Oh my god, no, she's gonna stab herself in like the ear. Nope, I can't. I can't. I can't. I really can't. What about the dead bodies? Oh my god. Fudge. Oh my god, she's like, you're lying. No! No, 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 no. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. How'd they hide the bodies? Maybe the manga has more explanation. Oh my god, shit, no. Girl, no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, why? But why? Oh my god, I can't look at it! I can't look at it! Oh, I hate all of this! All of these things! All of these things! Shit! Oh my god, I can't watch this! I will freak out! No! Oh my god, no! I can't watch it! I can't watch it! Nope! I can't do it! I can't do it, y'all! No! No! Nope! 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 I can't do it! I can't do it! Oh my god. Oh my god. Well, we're not burying bodies, are we? Shit. Oh. Oh my god. Oh. Don't do anything to the babies! Oh, and the octopus thing had spirals on it. Ooh, no. Nope, I don't like any of this. Girl, go throw that back up. He also looks like Ruffsville, but his mom just died. Oh, fudge, no! Oh my god! Ew! Oh my god. Oh my god. Hell no! What? Oh my god. That's some Freudian shit right there! Oh god, no, throw that shit back up. Oh my god, throw that shit back up. The fudge! No! Oh my god! Oh my god! Ew! Ew! Oh my god! Oh no, 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 no. Nope. The fudge! And then we're just fine. Like, let's go. We're getting out of here. What? This is not the time to party, Shuichi! Yeah. And now he doesn't have anywhere to go, so he's staying with them. Oh, the spaghetti is like spirals. Oh shit, ew. Oh, throw it all back up, dude. Go ahead and throw it back up. Oh, fuck. Yeah, he did. Oh my god, yeah. Oh, there's a typhoon coming. That's not good. Ooh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, not good. Not good. None of this is good. It's like seeing a face in the trees or something. That's so creepy. Oh my god, is he using their remains, like the cremated remains in the pottery? Or is it from the water from the pond has them in it? Oh, shit. Oh my god. No. Oh man. Oh shit. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god, and all the spirals and everything. Oh. Yeah, the pond. Oh my god. Yeah. Oh, and the power lines are spiraling! Shit! Oh my god. It stalled right above there. Of course it did. Oh, and the spiral. Oh my god, there's somebody up against the pole. Oh my god. Oh shit. Like someone else? Or was it the same girl? Oh my god. She's like, I'm gonna ignore this! Oh my god. Shuichi. Oh my god, and the Triana spiral. Oh shit! What is this Final Destination shit? Oh my god. Oh my god. It's obsessed with her. Like the spirals with the hair. Oh my god. Quit being yandere, Typhoon! Oh no, shit! Oh my god, why? Oh my god, what? Oh, that's all. Oh, fuck! Well, how's she supposed to stop that? It's a damn typhoon! Like, that takes it to a whole nother level. We were just talking about this, but it literally is trying to find her. Oh my god. Oh, there we go. Well. Oh my god. This isn't much better. Oh my god, why? It's like sounds so gross. Oh my god, oh no. Oh. Oh shit. Are they dead or alive? How are they not dead? With what happened to that girl? I guess we're fine. Well. Nope. Fuck no. Nope. Where did this come from? I could make a they're eating the dogs joke, but I'm going to not do that. I don't like where this is headed at all. Yeah, I don't like where this is headed. Oh, yeah, so don't worry about it. I just came to tell you this important plot information. Don't worry about your neighbors. Why did he suddenly show up when we were talking? Yeah. Or not. Or not. Or there's something like, why did this random guy show up just to tell you these things? Yeah, it does sound like an old woman. Nope, girl, no. Yeah, grab that flashlight. Oh, F no! Oh, F no, don't get near her! What the fudge is on her hand? Oh, wow. Uh-uh. Why are you asking these questions and being creepy? And why did she have spikes on her hands? Oh, hell no. Oh my God. This poor family has to suffer through all this shit. Oh, hail to the no. But why? Oh, no! Oh, no. Oh, oh, no, God, no way. Get out of there. Get out of there, girl. Girl, guys, y'all, get out of there. Well, I get there's a typhoon going on, but... Oh, shit! Oh my God, and there's the Jack in the Box. Oh shit, no! Oh my God, that's so creepy! No, why? Oh, fudge no. Fudge no. Nope. Nope. Get out of this town! Go away! Leave! Is there an end credit scene? Okay, there is. Okay, there is an end credit scene. Oh, this episode was so disgusting and creepy. We're gonna talk about it, but I don't know. I don't know if I can go back and watch some of those scenes because they were really, really gross. No. Shit. Ah. bleh, bleh, bleh. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Oh my God. Look, there was only one moment. There was actually only one or two moments that I do have questions about, but I have also a feeling we'll talk about it with the manga, but we'll wait for a second. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. Okay. Oh. Oh my God. Well. Huh. Well, this episode was like filled with my nightmares. So, oh man, that was genuinely creepy and scary. And I don't even want to think of how creepy the manga is. I'm sure the manga is 10 times creepier than this. Okay, so as far as I know, this is a 3-volume manga that they've comprised. I looked online because I wanted to do a review of the manga, and there actually was a deluxe edition of Uzumaki out there that you can buy, and so I have purchased it, so it's in the wings waiting to go. But it basically is 3 volumes in one, which granted, in itself, 3 volumes of manga to be condensed into 4 episodes. What is this, a Haikyuu movie? Like what? I was like, oh, that seems a lot. So yeah, I'm sure that there are parts and pieces missing from the manga as it's been adapted, and the adaptation has instead opted to maybe pay homage to those scenes and reference them rather than have them full on out. And the things that I think would comprise of that are, we'll talk about them as we go, but the thing that stands out is the Jack in the Box moment felt like it was maybe something that happens or was extended or in a different place, and they just kind of threw it in to reference what you saw in the post-credit scene, which I hate jump scares, and that just, I was like, to start off with that, I'm like, damn it. But yeah, so that felt, we'll talk about the typhoon, and that was to me, if I'm being honest with you all, the only glaring moment in the episode was the typhoon scene, only because it sucked that girl up and spit her back out and killed her, but yet when it sucked up Kiri and Shuichi, they landed by the pond and it was fine. That was the only moment of suspension of belief that I was like, well, how did they survive that if they were sucked up? And that kind of goes back to the lighthouse moment where she like doesn't get incinerated by the lighthouse. She's just instantly at the hospital when we show up this episode. I was like, well, how did she survive that? And how did she survive this? So I feel like the manga is going to give a better, proper explanation of that, but the series just doesn't have time to do it. So that's understandable. I get it. I would honestly, I don't know. I don't know who, like the creator from the tweet that I read at the intro, they said there's not really one person. And here's kind of the thing too. Anytime there's a situation like this with adaptation, there really isn't one person to blame. It usually is a very complex series of decisions that leads to this happening. So, and I don't know if, horror is a genre in itself that is often, I watch Red Letter Media a lot. They're one of my favorite. They're probably like one of the only reactors. They are reactors in a way, even though they kind of don't recognize it, but they are. But I like watching their content because they are, one, really impassioned with what they're viewing, and I kind of draw inspiration from them. But two, they are also kind of experts in their field. They're creators themselves. So they kind of know the process and the behind the scenes work, and they do their research to kind of know where things are coming from. And what they've talked about with horror as a genre is it is a modern trend to make horror movies kind of cheaply, because you can make horror films cheap, and then you kind of can reap the benefits. Like, I know that there's one particular studio that's known for doing, like, they make a budget of $1 million. They make a horror movie on a budget of $1 million, which seems like a lot, but in the scope of movies, it's very cheap. And then they'll bring it out to the box offices and an opening weekend make 30 million. So it's like they instantly make their money back. And so I don't know if that mentality has seeped into projects like this, because here's the thing. When you're making a horror movie through live action, you can cut corners and find shortcuts, and it can still look quality even though you haven't invested as much into it. With animation, you can't cut corners in animation. You can, but you're going to see the repercussions on the screen of cutting corners in animation much more. It's going to be much more transparent than it is going to be in a live action film. So I don't know if executives quite understand that, and maybe they're not as familiar with what the audiences are expecting. I think there's a lot of it. It's people try to simplify things like this where it's really a complex network of problems, and it's not so easy to solve immediately. But I am going to be interested when I look at the manga to see in some of these particular scenes from this episode, how does the manga handle them in relation, and maybe try to figure out, it's going to be kind of like a detective story of saying, why did the studio choose to do this versus that? Now, in terms of the episode itself, we're in the third, the 75% range. We've only got one more episode to go. And I think that this episode does exactly what it's supposed to do, in that it ramps things up to where it's like starting to ramp up everything, and it's starting to build towards the climax. Even nature has been affected by the spiral. Everyone around is getting affected by the spiral. Kiri has been identified as like a focal point. And I think what's so telling is in the final epilogue of this episode, where she says, by this point of everything, she was starting to get desensitized. And she's like, I just kind of became numb to it. And that's probably the most scary thing about it, is that she's not caring anymore. Whereas in the second episode, she was caring about what was happening to everyone around her. Now she's just kind of like, well, what can we do? And that's kind of, I think apathy can be one of the scariest things, because you kind of just give up at that point and just accept it. And I'm like, girl, don't accept it. Like, fight it. Like, keep on struggling, keep on struggling through, listen to guts and keep struggling and go on with it. I'm like, don't give up. And so I don't know. My fear in the last episode is that Shuichi has so many death flags. He's like ate the spiral affected food, which we'll talk about. He's like clearly gone crazy. His family has died. He's been haunted by their spirits. He's clearly unhinged. He's been unhinged the whole time, and they're not leaving like he said they should. So I'm like, why aren't you getting out? And I feel like it's a spiral and they can't get out now. They're stuck in the whirlwind. And I worry that Shuichi's not going to make it. And the worst part is, I feel like I'm worried that him and her family aren't going to make it. And she's just going to be indifferent by the end of it, being like, it's the spiral. That's what I'm afraid of, because that seems to be a trend, for self-preservation. People often become apathetic, and they become disconnected as a survival mode, as a defense mechanism. And you can start seeing it with Kiri, like with what's happened with her cousin and all this. And it's like, oh my God. But, so it's going to be interesting to see where this episode ends up going. This episode, I didn't even think of the cochlea. I didn't even think of it. And then the moment they pointed it out, I was like, oh shit, yes, the one part of your body. I mean, you could argue that your intestines they don't spiral necessarily, but they are there. But instantly the cochlea in the ear, I was like, oh my God. And it looks like a snail and a snail shell. So it's like, it's so, I think one of the horrors of the world when you think about it is how there are things in nature that mimic parts of ourselves. And depending on how spiritual you are and how religious you are, you're like, well, why is that? And like, what causes that? And like, what is it tied to? And there aren't any concrete answers to those questions. So then it kind of, if you focus on it, it will literally make you spiral out of control. And so it's so crazy. And the moment they revealed it was in her ear, I was like, oh my God, she's going to try to stab her ear. And I was like, oh, nope. I'm phobic to needles. So the whole thing with the IV, could not do it. Could not do it at all. Stabbing yourself, I can't do it. Nope. And then the other thing that I'm phobic with is the concept of parasites. Like the idea of parasites, like worms and stuff in your. So the thing in the ear. No, there's a Star Trek movie, or maybe it's with the Borg or something, where there's like, not the Bohr worms, where it's just like the Borg or something. It gets in your ear. No, there's a Star Trek thing with the ear thing. It haunts me to this day. I cannot. Nope. Cannot do it. Absolutely not. It just, oh my God, I was nervous the entire time. But again, to continue on with our discussion of snakes mating and snails mating, there are mosquitoes mating, which I live in the middle of a rural area. We have lots of mosquitoes and gnats, and they do like form a spiral. Isn't that interesting? The whole concept of the pregnant woman and the idea that when she pulled the thing out of the bag for the cousin, and we don't know what it is, but it ends up being the crank drill edge. I was like, oh my God. I thought it looked like a bicycle handle, and I was like, why is she carrying that around? And then the moment we saw what it was like, oh my God, yes. And she had all of like the mosquito marks on her face, and like the mosquitoes infecting her, and her like wanting to suck blood, and it was very zombie, it was very vampire. There's the pregnancy horror, which pregnancy is body horror. It's literally another entity living inside of you that you have to force out. Like when they did Alien and it was the face hugger and like the things bursting, I'm like, yeah, women deal with that every day. So it's like women, and pregnancy is a form of body horror. If you think about it, it's literally a parasite inside of you feeding off of your nutrients that you have to eventually force out and then take care of for 18 years. Like, it's just, it's crazy. And I personally do not have any maternal instincts. I don't have any desire to become pregnant. I'm not that type of person. So I maybe wasn't as affected by the pregnancy body horror, but that whole thing about the baby's bodies bursting open and there's like a fungi from the placenta, like it's become like a fungi mushroom. I hope that Kyrie and Shuichi threw all that food up, because if I knew that was a mushroom I was eating and that with the spirals, I would have hacked that all up. And maybe in the manga they do, and they just didn't want to show us vomiting. I'm glad I didn't really see vomiting, but oh my God, it was terrifying. The thing that gets me is that they see the dead bodies that have all the holes in them that look like knife stabs, right? They have all of those. But then I like that it's Keiko gets affected by the mosquito spray, which is really nice foreshadowing to her using it to make them go away in the end. But that's nice foreshadowing that they were drained of blood and everything. But oh my God, so creepy. But the thing of it is, they all walk the hallways and kill the nurses and staff and all those people. But then the next day, nobody believes her. And I was like, what? So I don't know in the manga if it's different and she just leaves, or if something else happens. Again, this series, if anything, here's the thing. Sometimes I feel like if a series has moments where you're like, but does the manga do anything different? If anything, Ito's probably like, yes, put this series out there. It will get people to buy my manga and find out how it's different. And I'm like, mission accomplished, because now I want to buy the manga and see how it's different. So I guess that's what's going to have to happen. But Kiri definitely has like the horror movie protagonist vibes, where she's like always right on the edge of danger, and at the last minute something helps her get away. And I'm here for it, because that's a trope that's in nearly every horror movie. Your protagonist usually survives, not always, but usually survives. There's been a couple films where that's not been the case, and they've actually done really cool things with that, but oh my God, I cannot. So yeah, so then we have, I can't do the mom scene with the earworm. No. I thought it was really creepy when they took the poster down and she couldn't see it anymore, and they just kind of brushed it off, and I'm like that was so terrifying. And then the pregnant women being okay the next day, and all of their like wounds were gone, because they'd sucked the blood. I was like, from the mosquito bites. I get bitten a lot by mosquitoes. I don't know if it's like the protein in my blood, or if I eat a lot of sweets and it's sweet blood. I don't know. But mosquitoes usually like get attracted. So I'm like, that's not, now I'm terrified of mosquitoes. So thank you. Awesome. Great. Make sure to help prevent malaria. Like, right? But yeah, her stabbing herself in the head with the ear. And then she just drove herself to insanity. I'm surprised they cremated the body because didn't they say they weren't going to cremate any more bodies after this because they were going to start burying them? So again, that scene alone made me wonder if maybe the manga does it in a different order. Maybe the mom dies earlier than in this. I'm excited to see how the manga portrays that because it didn't quite. I was like, why are they burning her body when they said they weren't going to do that anymore? Maybe they found, but they hadn't found the Jack-in-the-Box body yet to know that maybe that was a bad idea and they shouldn't. But it ends up being the Jack-in-the-Box body. The only thing that like makes his body reanimated was the spring from the car. And I'm like, what? So the cars are possessed? Everything's just, it's just crazy. Crazy. And honestly, in a horror movie like this, it being convoluted, you know, is kind of expected because it's a horror movie. Also, the staff that are eating all of the mushrooms and they're like, oh, should we do this? I don't know. Also, I do like the deterioration of Shuichi over time in this episode. Like, Kiri stays about the same because she's just like, and she's a protagonist. But Shuichi looks rough this episode. He really his parents have died. He's been consumed by this, like, trying to stay sane from the spirals. And the dad, Kiri's dad, is like, he kind of gives that forewarning of like, you're next because you're going to get obsessed with the spirals like everybody else. And he's like, no, he's trying to resist the best he can. Shuichi is definitely giving me Day of the Dead vibes, or maybe it's Dawn of the Dead. It's whichever one is the second one. The zombie one where the Romero film where they're in the mall, not the one where they're on the military base, but the one where they're in the mall. Shuichi is giving me the vibes of one of those main characters. I won't say anything else, but he's giving me the vibes of one of those protagonists. That's what I'm thinking. And so is Kiri. She's giving me vibes of one of the other protagonists too, but we'll wait till next episode to talk more about that. My thing was, when they heard the babies, the newborn babies talking, I would have been freaked out by that. I would have said, oh, nope, there are newborn babies that already are capable of speaking in complete sentences. Maybe they can't hear through the glass, and that's the thing. But yeah, the spirals have taken over. The spirals have taken over and completely taken over the babies and then formed the like mushroom to like emerge from their placentas, and they're like completely taken over and are like hosts for it, which is creepy as F. I'm like, nope. I'm honestly surprised when we talk about censorship in series. I'm surprised they got away with like literally murdering babies. Like, maybe because there was no blood in the scene, they could get away with animating it. But the idea that like the umbilical cord like erupts this mushroom fungi from the babies, then baby's dead. They dead. They are consumed by a parasite and the mushroom is controlling them. That is freaky as F. I'm amazed they got away with it, if I'm being honest. Especially, I was like, okay, we're doing this. Huh. And then there's the whole Freudian thing because it's been a long time since I've read Freud. It's been a long time since I've read it, but there was like a theory he has about everyone desires to go back into the womb, to go back into the mother because of the safety and security there, and that everyone desires to go back to pre-birth because the theory of once you're born, you start dying. There's that, but the idea that like they're sewing the babies back into the moms, it was just terrifying. I feel like a mom watching this would probably be horrified. And then the doctor's just doing it. And it's like, and he talks about like these mushroom like things. She's like, is that what everybody's been eating? And he's like, yeah. And then she's just consuming the blood. Now, I think they get away with the nudity too of both Jack-in-the-Box and Kiko. Because I think they get away with the nudity because there's no nipples. I really think that's it. There's no nipples on her. And then like with him, he just looks like a Ken doll. But then the Jack-in-the-Box guy, like there's no penis shown in when he's in there, but also his body was kind of like sewn together. And if you've ever know the behind the scenes of like funeral processes, I'm not surprised by that. But what a creepy, crazy thing. Insane. Ew. And then everybody's just eating the mushrooms. It's so disturbing. This family though, this family's like, part of me does think that a lot of this is out of order, because if I just experienced the hospital scene, I would have grabbed my family and been like, you know what, we should probably leave. We should probably get out of here. This seems like a bad idea. This seems like a problem. This seems like we need to leave. You know, we need to get out of here. So I think one of the things I'm going to be doing when I look at the manga is just looking at how is the OG manga source structured timeline wise in comparison to the anime. I think that's going to be one of the things that I do is look at how they're different and then talk about it with you all when I do that review, because I'm excited to see. The moment the dad came out of the pond with the water for the pottery, I was like, when he was completely submerged himself, not just got the water in the buckets, but he went into the entire lake. I was like, that's weird. That's not sane. That seems like a big red flag. Okay. And then when they were in the town, when they were in the house eating all of the food, like the spaghetti and everything, and the spirals and all of that, I'm like, well, she probably washed all of the food and everything with the water from the pond. So gross. But then they act like everything's fine. And I'm like, no, it's not fine. And so there's definitely some moments where I feel like things are out of order. We'll find out. But the idea that he used the pond water with the cremated remains of the parents to make the pottery, and that's what Shoichi and them are seeing. Nope. The fact that the dad's obsessed with the kiln and all of that. Nope. And then they break out all the spirits and everything gets lit on fire. Then there's the typhoon. Remember we were talking about how nature, like, it doesn't come after you? I did feel like this whole moment here with the typhoon in the eye of the storm, it is super creepy. And it is super creepy that the idea of the spiral curse has affected everything. The spiral curse has not only affected the flora, the flowers, it's not only affected the fauna, the animals like the mosquitoes and the snails and the mice. It's not only affected that, but it's also affecting the people, like the guy, like the fungi and the placenta, and then the guy turning into like, it's a spud. If you've ever known like potatoes, like the potatoes have eyes on them, which is kind of connected to him looking through the peephole and all you see is his eye. The one guy, we'll talk about that scene in a minute, but the potatoes, if you ever have a potato, a lot of times you have to scrub them and clean them off, but potatoes, their roots grow out like what was covering him. So it's this weird cross section of nature and humanity and just this weird spiral, you know, and you talk about DNA and the double helix and the spiral like that. So I'm not surprised with everything that's been affected by the spiral, including like the air, the liquids. I'm not surprised that nature itself is affected by the spiral in that town, because they talk about the typhoon being stalled there. And we've seen how light is even affected in the lighthouse. So I'm not surprised by it. But all I could think about when the typhoon was following Kiri around was Sharknado. All I could think of being like, the Sharknado's following us. It's trying to get us. It's like shooting sharks at everyone. That's all I could think about. I was like, this is literally Sharknado, and it's shooting sharks at her. Like if a shark had been shot at her and Shuichi as they were running. Although it was kind of Final Destination when like the log came like flying and missed her, and then it comes back again and hits the guy and keeps him from saving her. I'm like, if you ever watch Final Destination, I can't drive behind a semi-truck with logs on it now because I keep thinking a log is going to come undone, and I'm just like drive really fast around it. I was like, oh my God, that it was just crazy. And then, okay, so the one person tied to the pole, I wonder if that's the classmate and the spiral has just drained her body and she's just stuck there, because that seems to be the case, which is insane. But yeah, so Kiri tries to ignore the spiral, and then it starts to chase her, and her and Shuichi like find the drain and go down there. At the moment that the house fell on top of Kiri, all I got was Attack on Titan vibes, and I was like, well, it's a good thing there aren't Titans roaming around at least. So honestly, the Sharknado typhoon, I thought it was creepy that it was following them. That's the one part of this episode that to me wasn't as realistic, as if I can say that when we're talking about spud people and mosquito pregnancies. So the only part that wasn't realistic was I could understand them getting away from the typhoon, and I could understand them surviving all the disaster around them because it's a horror movie. It's a horror series. You expect that. The one thing I don't understand is the one girl died. The one girl died when she like went up there to do whatever, but then they end up being perfectly fine. Like, it wants Kiri, but it spares her. That's the only part that was kind of weird for me. So I'm going to be curious to see if anything's different moving forward. We'll kind of see on that. To see if episode 4 explains anything or if the manga explains anything. But yeah, the Eye of the Storm does look like it's like the Eye of Sauron following them around. But yeah, they get sucked up by the whirlpool and then they end up like around the pond that's a spiral as well. Crazy talk. So their house is destroyed, so they go to stay in one of the same houses that Kazunori and Shio were in back in episode 2. They go to stay in one of the houses, and we know that the house next door has a bunch of people staying there as well. But so creepy. The idea of people in the walls, especially people in the walls watching you, the idea of being watched when you don't know it is creepy. It's very disturbing. And the fact that this guy who was super suspicious, like he just shows up. And again, that was another moment that I thought the manga is going to expand upon. So I'm like, okay, if I read the manga, they're going to expand more on this. But he just shows up and he's like, oh, here's some reasons why you shouldn't be concerned just now. And it's like, well, it seems like you were listening to our conversation. That's creepy. And then we see the mom. I'm assuming that the son, the reason why Kiri was so worried and freaked out was that the son had all of the spuds coming out of him. But the mom did too. So it's like the mom did too. We just didn't get to see her face, which is also creepy. So I'm like, I don't know. She also, with her hood up, looked kind of like a potato as well, which is really freaky. And she's covered herself up so you can't see her. I don't know, man. But then he comes through and he's peeking through. I don't know how he gets infected unless he's been with them. I don't know how he ends up getting infected. That's weird. Unless he was like touching the walls of the house and it's kind of like black mold, like the fungus was infecting the house and then he got infected. Still super damn creepy. I don't know. The idea of the spikes and stuff coming through his eyes and his nose and everything. Nope. That's freaky as hell. And then tries to like consume her. And then yeah, the Jack in the Box shows up. Some of the imagery that's just still imagery is so damn creepy. It's so disturbing. And then the end of the episode, they see him like all up against the house and they're like, well, what's that? I can't see what it is. Let's go up and touch it and see what it is. And then she's like, the strange things kept happening, affecting our whole town. Looking back, by that point, I'd already become numb to everything. So I'm curious if she gets out of the town and she's telling this all in the past, or if she gets consumed by the spiral and becomes part of it. And that's gonna be the narrator twist at the end, that she's been through it the whole time and now she's accepted the spiral and is one with it, or if she gets away from it, or if she's a ghost. You could do whatever you wanted at this point. And I think that the audience, our disbelief has been suspended by all the fantastical things happening in this town, that whatever outcome is. I'm curious to know if she's going to live. I think she's going to live. I think that Shuichi's going to die. And I think that's going to seal the nail in the coffin of her being apathetic about it all. I think Shuichi's going to die. Maybe her family will live. I don't think her dad's going to make it because he's pretty gone at this point. But I think she's going to live regardless and maybe get out of it. And maybe do what he wanted her to do from the start and get out of town. But I think he's going to get trapped in the spiral. And I don't know. And the thing that's scariest about this whole scenario is we don't know what's caused it. And we don't know if there's anything you can do about it. Because it's like, we don't know the cause necessarily, or if there even is a cause, like what started all of this. We don't know where it started. We don't know the cause of it, which is so true of many scary things. We don't know what its origins are. I think the scariest part is that there's not really a cure for it. And the hardest part, because I think there is something to be said about Shuichi telling her from the beginning, like, well, just leave. And this series kind of shows the complexity of that. Like, sometimes you can't just leave. It's complicated, right? Whenever people are like, oh, well, if you don't like this place here, well, you can just pack up and go. And it's like, well, you have to have a job. You have to, like, you know, have to health insurance. What about your family? You have to have a place to stay when you leave. That's hard to set up. You have to, like, put down payments on things. So something as simple as just, oh, we'll just go somewhere else and leave. That's not so easily said than done. And I think this series does a good job of showing why people stick around in the midst of things spiraling out of control, and they try to maintain that normalcy. They try to maintain that grip on reality, and they're like, oh, we can just ride it out, or we can solve this, or it won't affect us. And we kind of see the repercussions of that. And I think it's interesting what Ito does with that. So anyway, I'm super excited to see what happens in the finale. I don't think the animation quality was bad in this episode at all. I think people are overreacting in terms of that. There are some moments that I feel are just adaptation moments, but you know what? I've watched some really well animated things that didn't adapt well, and people had the same complaints. So I will be curious to see how this series ends, but I might just have to listen to this episode on the English dub. I don't know if I'm going to be able to watch it. Anyway, I'm excited to hear your comments down below. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll be back next week with the season finale of Uzumaki. Bye.